Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all fandoms, welcome to the Ferret and Raccoon podcast, episode 93. I am the Unbreakable Raccoon.
I am Ace.
And it is still hot, unfortunately.
It's killing me inside.
It's great for the kids who have now just finished school, so hopefully they're going to get a nice, hot holiday. I mean, England, to some extent, deserves it, but maybe we should have had this intense heat now instead of the last month.
Yeah. I mean,
it is a bit much, I would say.
It makes me just want to hide in my bathtub full of ice and cold water, which is basically what I've been doing.
Yeah, you've been telling me you've been doing a lot of that. I'm like, geez.
It's been so relaxing. It's been relaxing. Nice.
Unlike the rest of the week, because the world kind of went a bit crazy since we recorded the last podcast, which I really enjoyed doing. I enjoy every podcast, but I think we've kind of got like a great pace. Maybe it's the heat, or maybe it's that we know what we're doing a little bit more to some extent. But this I think I'd like you to kind of set them off and kind of see what you've been up to in the last kind of like 2 weeks, things you've done and seen and all that kind of stuff.
So besides from hiding from the heat and then just being as hedonistic as possible, just drinking rum, eating chocolate and grapes, I actually had to go outside, which was not good.
Oh no.
I went on a family trip to the Horniman's Museum with my mum, sister and brother.
Classic.
Specifically went to the recently opened Butterfly House.
Oh, that's open now.
Yeah. And it is 33 degrees inside there, and I sweated my face off. It was ridiculously hot. I felt like it was in the Amazon forest. Amazon forest?
Rainforest.
Yeah, that's one. I knew there's something wrong with that. But yeah, it was really fun inside, and all of the butterflies just flying around and landing on people's heads is brilliant.
And people freaking out, I'd imagine.
Well, this one bald man had to them constantly flying onto his head, and he just stood there as his kids took pictures, which was quite funny.
That is funny.
And just talking to the people about the butterflies was nice, specifically the blue morpho, which everyone was amazed by because it was so bright and blue. And
there's that really bright, almost velvety looking one, is it?
Yeah, and it's really big. I was surprised, considering most butterflies it's just like really small. These were like my palm size, kind of. Jeez. And I was like, that's so cool. I loved it.
Did you go in there and go, Mothra?
I wish.
Should have.
I think it was before the new trailer thing popped out. But other than that, I saw some films. Mm-hmm. I saw The Incredibles 2 in cinema.
Oh, I still haven't seen that yet.
It was full of obnoxious children, specifically one running up and down and crying and one smacking the screen. I want to kick those children in the faces. But the film was okay. It didn't feel like a cash cow rip-off kind of thing. It was alright, just kind of forgettable. So,
which is not what you want coming off the greatest.
Specifically, there's not going to be memorable lines. Most memorable line is from Dash, and it's just kind of funny.
Well, if it's just kind of funny, is it really even memorable?
Compared to everything else, relatively.
Okay.
Whereas, like, in the first one, you got so many iconic ones, you know. Guess. Coincidence? I think not. Where's my super suit? I'm Syndrome. That kind of stuff. And there's nothing like that in this. Which, it soured the experience a bit.
I guess. And
it's kind of messy. But it was still enjoyable. I'm not going to take that away from it.
Okay.
But I did watch a really great film called Punishment Park, which came out in 1971. It's a faux documentary about this kind of penal colony thing. Not exactly. Like, the federal government has opened a kind of park in which if you don't want to go to prison, you go there and you get hunted by the federal government for 3 days. If you can survive, you get out. And it's presented in a faux documentary style, and it is terrifying and amazing. And in the current political climate with America, how it is, it's even more chilling.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's a little unfortunate that fiction is becoming reality.
Yeah.
Way too fast, because a lot of the time with ideas like that, and let's say The Purge and some other ideas which are kind of creeping up, when it's getting a bit concerning, because you know those guys, even if they were kind of coming from some kind of referential sense or predictive prediction wise, a lot of the time they're just like, "Yeah, I was having fun."
Yeah.
Wouldn't this be a fun idea if we had like a little commentary and then it's like, "Oh no, it's actually happening."
I will say Punishment Park is highly political, but it does it so strongly.
Okay.
I absolutely adored it. Okay. It's a fantastic film, so I highly recommend it.
I've never heard of it. I know of the concept because I think The Simpsons did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting enough.
But that's mostly what I've been doing besides trying to stay out of the heat. 'Cause it's horrible. I hate it.
It can be horrible. I had quite the busy week for the most part. I went to Hyper Japan.
Yes.
Being the summer version. It's my first time there. It was a bit confusing to actually get there because the route we were following, it weirdly enough was like you get off at this station and you just go through this exit and you just walk there, and then we get to the station and like that gate's closed and it's like So I got to the point where a ton of people who had obviously followed the same route were literally just kind of following each other, and we didn't know what to do. Eventually, we had to say, right, we're gonna go with this plan and get there. I was with the friend Recess, you know, who was in my Japan video and he's been on some videos as well. So we went there, and it was like a nice slice of Comic-Con. It's very small, it's very contained. You can pretty much see everything within an hour, but it's based on what you want to do. So it was really nice. It was very relaxed, and it was way cooler than a Comic-Con gets.
Damn.
Given that the building is smaller, so I don't know what they are doing. And even then they had like a little circular like postcard thing or whatever regarding the actual event, and they were just handing out going, it's the Hyper Japan like thing, and also fan.
That's pretty cool.
So like, despite how low key it was, there was some serious planning that went into it.
That sounds brilliant.
It was nice. I think you'd really like it, honestly.
Yeah, I do intend to go, and I was unable to go this time.
The next one's in November, so we'll definitely go.
Yeah, nice chill weather then.
Yeah, hopefully. Better be. The other thing, I just finished my current job, which was nice. So I just kind of wanted to say that because it was nice to kind of, finally be done with it. But it was also sad at the same time. I had an after party as well, which was crazy with all the staff. Because the staff knows how to party. There are some people who would just say no to you not dancing. That happens. But luckily, there were songs that I knew, and I was like, okay, I'll get and do this. I had a drink that was unfortunately a bit too strong, and I think that upset me. But other than that, it was a really fun night and a really nice end to it because it was technically my party because I was leaving. So it was nice. The other things I watched, the main thing that isn't current I watched was Kaiba.
Oh, yes.
From the same guy who did Lure of the Wall and Devilman Crybaby and all that good stuff. Because his cinema is a
very creative individual.
Yeah, his stuff can be categorized as the good stuff.
Yeah.
You might as well call him Mr. The Good Stuff. Boy, is Kaiba like the most underrated like anime in the last few
really
centuries.
is.
This is one of the better animes out there.
And it's so visually distinct from everything else.
It's very clearly an Osamu reference.
Yeah.
The guy who created Mega Man, for those of you who don't know, it's straight up like he was reading his book and his work one day and he was like, man, I want to do because it honestly feels like a film Osamu would have made or a series he would have made because there are a lot of elements. Even the design of the main characters are basically like that.
Astro Boy. You meant,
yes, the guy who made Astro Boy and other things like Blackjack and all those other stuff that he's done. It's basically a nice reference to that, but it's visually very weird and very interesting, and it's one of the reasons why I am so negative towards bad sci-fi and bad space operas is because they need to be doing more things like what they're doing. Yeah. There are some great ideas that I'm surprised no one has like really tried themselves, and I guess it's because the negative would be, this is too weird, I'm not going to watch it. But Kaiba kind of embraces that, and just as a quick kind of what the hell Kaiba's about is essentially this kid just wakes up with a hole in his chest and you find out this whole world has kind of got this weird kind of classist based like futuristic idea where they're stealing people's bodies and taking out people's like memories and reducing them to like chips, and there's all this battle for freedom and what it truly means to be like human and all that kind of stuff. And it was very interesting the way it was done in like this very creative way, and I really do like the way that the series was kind of almost halved in terms of like story wise, because we do kind of like, series doesn't tell you nothing. No. Series tells you absolutely nothing, and it's like running away from the monsters and all this kind of stuff, and you're like, what's going on? Who's this? What's going on? You don't really get any real answers for a long time, but it was very interesting how they did it, especially the some of the character designs as well, particularly the girl with the blue hair. I forget her name. Oh,
okay. I can't remember it. It's been a while since I watched Kylo,
hands down one of the best character designs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Really strong series. I don't know why it's not on DVD anytime soon. I'm hoping that, given that the guy did Devilman Crybaby, and given that they just re-released Mind Games, hopefully they will put that on Blu-ray.
Yeah. Just get all of his work out there, please.
Just get it all. Even that was a wrestling film he did as well. Hopefully they put that on DVD. It's only like 13 minutes long.
Yeah.
But they should do that.
At least there's a special feature on one of them, maybe.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, we'll see. But other than that, I want to quickly breeze through some of the more newer animes that came out this year in the new anime season. And I'll be honest, kind of an underwhelming season.
Yeah.
This is definitely we're saving everything for the end or next year, because obviously we got JoJo and SSS Gridman is basically next season as well.
I think there are lots of very strong concepts. It's just execution-wise.
I'm a bit worried about, and I'm going to quickly breeze through a few of them, because almost all of them shocked me in a way, unlike some of the other stuff. So first I want to talk about is High Score Girl, which I was really looking forward to. It basically takes place in Japan during 1991, during one of the bigger arcade gaming crazes. One thing, I don't ever watch trailers for animes unless they're films, but one thing that shocked me big time was the fact that it's predominantly a CGI animated series with the character models being CGI. The background is completely flat and 2D, which was incredibly strange. But the weird thing about this series is sometimes the 3D animation works.
Okay.
But it's only ever with obscure, surreal visuals.
Right.
At times they will do like weird reaction shots, close up of the face, and you can tell it's CGI. But some of the more surreal imagery looks perfect, and it's almost as if they know what they're doing, and it doesn't feel like it's cheap, it's easy, put high. No, it honestly feels like this was a decision where they're like, this show is best represented in CGI.
Okay,
so I'm gonna trust it. Obviously, I don't like CGI shows, and it's not that great, and I think the main male character is really unlikable, and he's hard to get behind.
Okay,
but the main character, she's very weird. I think she might be mute. She's just, and the weird thing about her is she's like this, she's good at school, rich family, very good at games, and she's like mute. She doesn't say much.
Fair enough.
She's very odd. And I like that. And I like a character that's just, we don't know anything about them to some extent. But like...
This one I definitely still need to give a watch.
I would say give it a watch at some point. Next one, Angels of Death.
Yes.
I have some issues with this series. The first episode was really good.
Yeah.
But then the second episode turned into an anime.
Yeah, like...
I don't, like...
The first one was full of, like, great tension and a horrifying laugh. And then the second one was, like... Now we're the buddy comedy show. I don't mind them being friends. It's kind of hard to explain this one because even right now we don't really know what's going on. Basically, a girl who wakes up in a room and there's like seems to be like floors with different kind of horrifying people. It's kind of obvious what it's going to be. I think it's a bit too obvious, unfortunately, what the end goal is going to be. I mean, even just us saying there's people on different levels and we're going up. Yeah. Fortunately, very obvious. I would love for them to surprise me and go, no, it's not that. But whatever. I don't really like how they're trying to make them a little bit more chummy and all a little more anime tropes, because the problem is the series is already interesting enough and I already love the characters. There's no need for us to be like, oh, he's comedically angry or or sweat drop. No need for that. I will say one bit I really did like in the second episode was when it was like telling her, why don't you just commit suicide? And she was just coming up with excuses. They were just so perfect. Oh, yeah. And that was probably the best part of the second episode for me. Yeah, not to say it's bad. I think it's just, once again, it feels like one of those cases of someone kind of going in and go, remember, it's an anime. Yeah, exactly. Which it doesn't really need. I mean, if that's the worst thing that this series presents, then I think we're on streak for a good series. Yeah, it's going to be a fine one to watch. Hopefully. Next one, Chiyo's School Road. Oh, yeah. The concept is really great. The first episode was absolute garbage. Really? That was boring. I love.
I'm sorry, the first
silliness.
episode was boring for me personally. It's basically the concept is a girl walks to school.
Yeah, I know.
That's it.
It's great.
It's the adventures of a girl walking to school.
I love that.
I mean, concept-wise, A+.
Yeah.
I think it's very hit and miss, unfortunately, because I have looked at the manga and there are some shorts that don't hit.
Okay.
But when it hits, it's really good. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on this one. Last two, Banana Fish.
Yeah.
Kind of been anticipating this one. Other than I know what the problem is with this series. The problem is they want every episode to be a little bit of everything. They want your action, your mystery, your this. They want a little bit of everything. So that's why every episode ends on a cliffhanger. The pacing is a bit too rushed because they're going
horrible.
Because they're literally going. We need to make sure that this happens and that happens, and we've only got 12 episodes, and I mean that's fine. Everything else is great.
I think the editing is terrible as well. They constantly abuse the 180 rule. There's no proper transitions between scenes. It's just like, okay, we're here now. And you're like, what the fuck? And I was even confused at a bit of continuity at one point because he was here and then he's just randomly somewhere else. And I'm like, is this happening before? What? Is it just the next scene? Why is...
I'm understanding it because I've read the first 2 volumes, so I know what's going on, but I'm not trying to use that as an excuse for negativity. It does have some issues, but I think everything else is pretty interesting. The story, the idea, I think even just the characters, and I think just just the fact that it actually does feel like a little bit of like a gangster kind of streetwise thing. It's depending on if a certain few things happen, I'm almost gonna call Good Time out on. Okay. Because it's feeling a lot like the film Good Time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say rip off, but I'm like, if you like Good Time, which you should, because Good Time is a good film. But yeah, and the last one we'll talk about is Bucky.
Ah, yes.
Got to talk about Bucky.
My glorious child.
Bucky, some of them character designs are ugly as hell.
I know, and I love it.
But everything else, it's literally. Do you like strong guys doing manly things?
Yeah.
This is the anime of the season for strong. Are you waiting for JoJo?
Yeah.
Watch Bucky.
It's JoJo but ugly. That's what you have to think.
Yeah, that's a good one actually. Yeah. At first I was like, man, these proportions, these faces, my god,
they're grotesque.
They're so bad. Like, oh.
And his dad's demon back.
Oh god, that was nasty.
I know.
Oh. But then the series kind of like gets a little bit going, and it's great. I'm really enjoying this series. It's got some stuff, and I'm glad it's going to be like a short little thing as well. And also Sagat from Street Fighter is making a guest appearance, which is nice.
I do highly recommend everyone who's enjoying Bucky do go back to watch Bucky the Grappler, which the 2001 series.
Okay.
Because it's basically this, but 2001.
Okay.
It's so good.
So that's basically everything I wanted to talk about. We're gonna breeze through the fortnight because, as most people know, San Diego Comic-Con happened, and it hit kind of hard. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna get to that stuff pretty quickly. I believe you got the first thing that kind of roughly happened. That's, I guess, news-based wise, it happened during the fortnight, which is making people cry. Oh
god, yeah. So everyone was very, very upset with the whole Thundercats
everyone
reboot.
in the whole world was upset, despite us.
And they decided to also reboot Shira. And every 40-year-old man who loved the original Shira and defended it so much when they were children, they poured their hearts out to show everything wrong with the new Shira.
Now I'm doing the Sonic wiggle the thing right here, but the funny thing about Shira is Shira is rubbish.
Yes,
the original Shira is rubbish. It was just an exploitative cash grab just based on He-Man's success.
Yeah.
And the backwardsness of I'm really upset that they're remaking a show I never watched is
it's stupid.
Really backwards. And I mean, yeah, I'd rather them not remake and keep rebooting ideas, honestly. But at the same time, a female-led series is kind of something we need coming from a new generation of like makers. I mean, regardless of what you're going to say, it's going to happen, even if it's not Shira. I mean, it's another Steven Universe.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's going to happen. You can't stop change or the inevitable. Well, change is inevitable, unfortunately. And I mean, it is kind of interesting. I mean, so far we've just seen images, so I'm not going to say if the show is well animated or not, because we can't do. I'm not going to be an asshole and go, that looks rubbish.
Or that animation is terrible.
The animation is terrible and it's still image.
Exactly. Oh, fucking idiots.
Wow, this comic is animated really poorly. But I mean, I guess the main thing I want to say is, I mean, regarding a lot of the sexist hate towards this, because I think people are also upset that she's like tomboy-ish.
She doesn't have the big titties,
which I don't care about. She's obviously a teenager.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. A woman is not defined by her chest.
Yeah. Like, if you just want fat material, the internet's there. Go ahead.
There. You just find that. You know the websites.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, maybe if these same people had stopped bitching about how good their childhood was and putting such a downer on how cartoons are today, we wouldn't be in this creative lull.
Yeah, exactly.
Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney would be going, yeah, push for more creative ideas. Yeah. They are, but at the same time, look where we are right now. We have a Shira remake, a Thundercats remake, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles remake. We have a Teen Titans Go film, and this is all granted. Children, it's for children. At the same time, you can say that, but at the same time, if you people weren't so this and that, we wouldn't be here.
I missed the old days before I was born.
Yeah, and you know what? The marketing went, okay, you missed the old days. We'll bring back that show if it's going to add another 10% to our viewership.
Yeah.
It probably won't.
You don't like it?
You don't like it? Well, tough.
It's not for you, mate.
Tough. Maybe go and support Steven Universe instead of saying how it's the worst thing ever because you don't like the fact that there are themes that make you uncomfortable because you do not understand them.
Yeah.
Whether or not you think Steven Universe is written well or not doesn't matter. What it is doing is great.
Yeah. I have issues with its writing, but I love that show. It's so nice.
And it just got confirmed a movie.
I know. I'm so happy
with
that.
If that's in cinemas watching that,
I'm going to see it.
I think it might be a Cartoon Network movie, but
it will probably have a limited release.
I'm just waiting for my Blu-ray release. Come on, guys. Come on, Cartoon Network. You're really bad with your distributions.
Give me my Steven Universe show.
Give me my Steven Universe. Give me my everything.
I want to cry at the wedding.
Oh boy. But yeah, let's move on to one other one real quick, and it's kind of still within animation. That's a guy who I guess is kind of fairly unknown to some extent, and that's Jon Schnepp. Schnepp. Yeah, Jon Schnepp has unfortunately passed away. Now, he was essentially one of the directors for Metalocalypse.
I can't pronounce that.
Which is a fantastic satirical comedy about a heavy metal band, which I think everyone, especially if you were hardcore into metal, should watch because it is a fantastic and unfortunately somewhat underrated cartoon on Adult Swim. It's a real shame he's passed away because I think he was a very interesting guy. I don't have everything he's kind of worked on, but he's worked on some very... His discography is very interesting, from comics to animation and stuff. I think he even did the Killing Joke Untold Story comic. Okay. He's the one behind that. So
curious.
Guy's he's a very interesting person, but it's a real shame to hear he's passed away. So please go and watch Metalocalypse at some point if you have never watched it. I think it is a very underrated cartoon. I mean, you watched the other Adult Swim cartoon, so definitely give that a shot if you can still get the episodes. I want to quickly breeze through a few things really, really quickly just to kind of laugh at for me and you. So England lost the World Cup, which was quite funny.
England are coming home, aren't they?
Yeah, coming home, Football's coming home. Which,
that was funny.
Whatever. And then obviously had the situation of Trump coming to England, which kind of was quite funny because the one thing I want to say was I love how the front cover of one of the Sun papers while he was there was basically he's done this, he's disrespected the Queen, and he's been this. And he's and he has the cheek to sit in, I think, Churchill's chair or something like that. And then it was how dare he? And I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting coming from the paper that supported Bredex.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's basically saying the same thing. And you're you're outraged by that?
They probably would support Winston Churchill, though. It's the Sun.
Okay, we're unfortunately gonna have to talk about a lot of arseholes of this podcast. So let's put him to let's leave him for 94 for now. But I was just really? And given the same people who said, oh, don't let Corbyn put England in the bin and all this kind of rubbish stuff, You have no right to chat.
What a bunch of muppets.
And also, Brudix is on fire.
I know. There's literally no plan. It's like, what the fuck? Every single person who was promising this and that need to do something because everything they've said has failed through.
Ace, you're being too negative. It's going to happen. Next year, Brudix will leave. Come on, man. It's going to happen. It's going to be smooth. The trade deal will just happen. It'll be like that. We'll have trade and business, and this country will be back on its feet within months. I guarantee you, months. No one's going to take advantage of a weak country. Come on, Ace.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
No one's going to take advantage of a country literally weak. I mean, there's no war. There's no, there's no, loss in military profit or troops. I mean, no one's going to take advantage of that. Come on, Ace.
It's true.
You know everything's just going to be smooth. I mean, I trust Theresa May. Our current Prime Minister, in case you do not know.
I always have to contemplate with her. Like, is she that incompetent? And then it's like, no, the situation's fucked. And it's like, no, it's both.
It's both.
It's like,
she's
terrible.
She's not a leader. I mean, the whole situation was just for one party to gain power.
Yeah.
And now they have that power. They don't know what to do with it.
You know, I will say one interesting thing about this. All of the alt-righty arseholes in England have started joining UKIP. And UKIP's failing even more. And it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, UKIP is basically the racist party.
Yeah. Literally.
There's nothing really else to say. They have no points, no redeeming qualities. There's almost no really... whatever.
Nothing.
Just ignore them. Let's actually get into some of the news, and the first thing we're going to talk about, well, roughly, in if you can say in one section, is going to be San Diego Comic-Con, which has just happened. We are just on the cusp of it. We got destroyed with trailers.
I know,
to some
ridiculous.
extent. And we're going to go through them. Ace, I believe you have the first one.
Yeah, so the first one is Titans, based on the Teen Titans and Titans comic book series. Essentially a live-action adaptation featuring Robin, Raven, Starfire, I think, and Beast Boy. I think that was all of them, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like it's going to be the most hot topic teenage edge ever, and I kind of simultaneously love and hate that. So I'm fascinated.
Right. I've got to get into this now.
Raccoon's getting serious.
This trailer is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I am dead serious.
Okay.
This is bad.
Yeah.
On every level. This is really bad. Like, okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the fuck Batman line.
Oh god. That was
the most edgiest thing ever.
That was literally a Hot Topic t-shirt to me.
Yeah. Immediately, this character is nothing. Because, I mean, it just goes to show how poor the writing in the show is going to be if that's their understanding of a, in quotation marks, teenager or young adult or whatever Robin's supposed to be, because it's not clear.
Yeah.
And despite, I mean, he looks like he's sturdy, and that's a bit distracting because once I jokingly said to you before, I don't like the idea of a 30-year-old hanging around with a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
It's really creepy because if they're not going to be teenagers, why are there teenagers and adults?
Yeah.
That's a bit weird. I don't like that. And besides, funny enough, the 2003 animated series did that whole scene way better without it being tryhard. Like, basically, it's roughly the same scene. There's like a criminal walking down the alley, and then the series kind of fakes you out. You think it's Batman with like bats come out, and then it's actually Robin who comes out in the shadows. You know, Robin basically beats up the criminal, and he's like, "This isn't your city. I thought you were supposed to eat." To which Robin cuts him off and says, "I just moved here."
Yeah.
And now I work alone. It's like, how much more does that say about the character? Even if you do or don't know anything about Robin, it says leagues compared to fuck Batman. I'm supposed to be the edgy teenager. Hot Topic.
The problem is, I love the edginess. Like, I love how sharp it is. You could cut yourself on it.
It's bad.
I know.
It's like the writers and the director really idolized Suicide Squad, and they went, that is my god. It's so bad, and it's really upsetting. I mean, the edge is too bad. It's too dark. It's literally too dark.
Literally,
I can't see action.
Yeah,
I didn't even know it was an action scene until Starfire set on fire. I didn't know what was going on.
The problem is, I think it's not only shot like dark, but it's also got a filter over it, which makes it look very distracting as well.
It's way better, and I can't. The speed is all over the place. It's just bad. I mean, the costumes look like bad cosplay.
The weird thing is, like Beast Boy, his actually looks pretty like the comic, which I was shocked by.
I'm sorry, I was probably too busy turning up the brightness on my Mac at that point of the trailer.
The problem, he's there for like 2 seconds. He just jumps, and that's it.
That's what Beast Boy's known for doing.
But he's like pure proper green. It actually looks like fur, and he's got the red and white costume from the comics, which was like, damn. All right.
But then everything else has gone so horribly wrong. I think the acting isn't very natural at all. It honestly feels like they're reading lines.
No, the acting's not great.
The acting is not great. I mean, to be fair, they're not working with anything here, and there's like no expression, facial expression. It's just, oh, I need your help, Robin. Oh no, I'm scared. It doesn't feel bad. Like, I mean, the editing is disgusting. Straight up.
It's a terrible trailer.
I don't think, the series is probably going to be edited that way, given how they're like, oh man, it's the edgiest thing ever. And I mean, it's needlessly jumpy, and the CGI is bad even for a DC TV series.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Heroes of Tomorrow, and I'm like, that's some good CGI.
Legends of
Tomorrow, and I'm like, ooh,
especially with the giant teddy.
That looks better than the whole of this trailer. Jeez. Ridiculous. This is so bad. Like, this is why the problem is trailers like this give Marvel fans and haters every right to diss DC.
Fair do.
They have every single right to say you are garbage, because that is garbage, and that is a complete misunderstanding of anything to do with any of those characters.
Yeah.
It is absolutely despicable. And it's just like, this is why you're going to lose forever. Like, you gotta, like, once again, you can't just go, oh, we'll just do the opposite. The opposite isn't always the best. Yeah. Usually, a lot of the time, opposites are good and bad, black and white. If one person is good, then unfortunately someone else is going to be bad. If you're just going, oh, just be the opposite. Marvel's TV shows are bright, so we'll just make ours dark. I mean,
the weird thing is, Marvel's TV shows aren't bright. They are dark.
Compared.
Yeah. Like, I mean, DC's are actually very bright.
No, I'm talking about like compared to these ones, because obviously they've gone, oh, we need to make things darker because that will save this piss poor attempt at a show. As long as people can't see the screen, they'll think it's good.
Let's switch it up to a more happier pace. We're going to go through the complete opposite of Titans here.
Oh yeah.
And it's surprising that we're getting such a happy superhero thing.
Oh yeah.
It's I wonder who's making it. That's the weird part. Talking about Shazam.
Yeah.
Essentially, the character who used to be called Captain Marvel gets superpowers from a weird mystery guy who's kind of creepy, and he looks very happy, and I like that.
This trailer was a breath of fresh air, man. This was like, it was like I was like, did DC make this? Can't have made this. Like, okay, they must have outsourced this to some other studio and some other guy, and he must have been making this on his own, and then DC went, yep, we'll make,
Wait, what's that logo? I see that. Is that Marvel's logo?
Is that Marvel's logo? Marvel, you been moonlighting? Helping out your enemies? Well, that's pretty nice.
Oh no, it's Image.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Someone who can actually make a good film. This was a real shock to the system to see a film that actually understands what a superhero is and what a comic book film is, because this is something that can actually give Marvel a run for its money if it is good.
Especially like the tonal difference.
Big time.
It starts off looking like it's going to be this edgy thing, and then it just jumps straight into goofy, and I'm like,
big time. He's just a kid as an adult. He's just like, oh, I got superpowers, I'm great, and all this stuff. And I think a lot of the scenes in the dialogue, it literally is how a kid would be if they were just a superhero. Just one day, it kind of feels like they really captured that for the most part. The costume is great. It looks like a costume. Yeah. It doesn't look like some kind of ugly battle armor. Yeah. It literally looks like, hey, I'm gonna put on this costume. And I think that's great. I think we need more stuff that's going to be a satirical and kind of almost poking fun at, whether it will or not, I don't know. Kind of film. I mean, just the scene alone, just the image they showed first before the trailer came out, the image of like the other kid and Shazam just sitting there just drinking a beer was fantastic.
I agree.
And it sends the perfect kind of message. Even Entertainment Weekly has a great shot of the actor playing Shazam just like with bubblegum in his mouth. That sends the right kind of message. It's like, hey, this is going to be a fun good film. Hopefully, I really have fingers crossed for this film. Definitely one to look forward to for next year, and I just hope they just don't ruin it. I hope DC hasn't seen this film. You know what I mean? I understand DC doesn't care about Shazam. They're too busy going Batman and Joker. Gotta have my 18 Joker films.
You see the heads at Warner Brothers saying, "Hey, what's that film written down there?" And then someone's, "No, don't look, don't worry.
No, it's fine. It's just a glitch."
Yeah, and they're like, "Okay. Where's my Joker films?"
Oh, here's all 20, sir.
Good work, Johnson.
We have 4 for every year. Because that's what the fans want. Trying to explain the Joker's origin. That will totally enhance the character, not destroy it.
I will say, if you like the look of the Shazam trailer, the Tick TV show that came out for Amazon is actually pretty good and reminiscent of it
as well. Or even just the cartoon of the Tick or the comics as well.
Or the other live action adaptation from the early 2000s, which has the
Crimson Chin.
Yeah, the Crimson Chin guy. I think it's him. But and read the comic Black Hammer. It's a very nice throwback to the classic 40s.
Freakazoid as well, I'd say. Freakazoid's a little bit more surreal, but Freakazoid as well.
Because there's one character in Black Hammer that's literally what if Shazam, but opposite, where she turns into a super kid, but as she gets older, like she still turns into a super kid. So when she's a superhero, she's a child. And she hates it because she's an old woman. It's like, why the fuck do I want to be this kid? It's a very different, interesting take.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah.
So we stick with DC?
Yeah, sure.
Let's talk about the worst.
Oh.
They finally dropped the trailer. I also kind of feel they kind of just begrudgingly dropped this trailer.
They dropped it into the ocean.
And they tied it down with weights.
Yes.
And that's Aquaman. Now, we got the poster earlier in the week, which was absolutely abysmal.
And everyone made joke ones, which were so much better.
Too right. Yeah. Because that is some bad Photoshop. Were you honestly using Photoshop 3 for that?
Probably, yeah.
Because, my God, this is your professional AAA blockbuster film, and you got a child to do your poster. That is embarrassing. But enough about grilling them on the poster. Let's grill them about this bloody trailer, which was absolutely awful.
So first, I just want to say how messy it was. It's constantly jumping from bits and pieces.
Too
and you're like,
much.
It's ridiculous. Mera's hair is far too bright red for me. It reminds me of Medusa from Inhumans. And it didn't...
Sorry, I had to think there for a moment about what Inhumans was.
Yeah. It just doesn't look right for me. It needs toned down. Because it looks like a wig.
Don't worry, that'll be part of the toned down cut.
Okay.
When it releases on Blu-ray, where they cut 3 hours of the film, so the film is only an hour long, because there is no way this film is going to be an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Because there is way too much going on. It looks like a cartoon. Those battles, it looked like a cartoon. It is just like... I knew this was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be this messy.
I didn't think it was going to be this generic.
Yeah, as well. It's like...
Like, there's so much you could do with an underwater society, and it's
and they're like, no, let's spend more time on the land with Jason Momoa not being a cool guy.
Yeah.
Not that he's ever been a cool guy, but...
Oh, didn't you like it when he surfed from something in the sky in Justice League?
No.
And he was like, Cowabunga?
No, I thought it was obnoxious and patronizing as a really annoying attempt to try and make a character that no one wants to make cool.
You have to blame Joss Whedon for that, though, because that was part of his...
I'm gonna blame everyone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame everyone, man.
But, this film looks horrible, and the best part of it looks to be Black Manta, which is quite shocking.
It is quite shocking. The day when I say the best part of Aquaman anything was Black Manta is a sad day in this world, because I hate Black Manta. I hate Black Manta. He is like one of the worst things ever.
I don't dislike him nearly as much, but yeah.
But here it's like, okay, once again, it's actually a costume as opposed to Aquaman being a CGI cartoon.
Yeah.
Except for when he shoots laser beams, and then it's like, just throw the character back. I took him out of the bin, but I had to put him back. It was like,
You put him in the recycling bin, so he could get better.
He could become something better. I put him in the recycling bin, and out came Shazam. But, oh my gosh, we're going to be, oh my god.
Yeah.
This film comes out the end of the year, and I hope this film flops.
Same.
Not even James Wan can save this film, because I don't even think James Wan knows what he's doing.
I think he kind of gave up. He was just like, I just want to be done with
Well,
it.
given that he's the third director on this film, I don't blame him. There wasn't any time to rewrite and re-scrapped. It was literally, James Wan, you need to do this film.
Yeah.
And he went, okay.
I'm going to move on to something else now. And this one's... I love it because I love how much of a piss take it is. And it's the 20-second Neon Genesis 3.0 plus 1.0 teaser.
Catchy name.
Yeah. I kind of love it. It's basically... who's the character that was introduced in 2 or 3?
The girl in the pink outfit.
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
The teaser was literally just her robot, like her Eva, spinning around. That was it. I love it. It's such bullshit. It's amazing.
I hope that when the final film comes out, they do a documentary on the creator.
Yes.
And what I honestly want is, I just want, because I saw this kind of based on a little thing I saw in a documentary. I just want a scene of him just sitting down, working on his film, cigarette, and he's drawing, he's coming up with ideas, and he just goes, "Fuck people."
Yes, exactly.
That's what the film should be.
Yeah.
It should literally just be, "Fuck you."
He literally hates the fans so much. I love him.
And the thing is, he's not like a pessimistic, like evil man. He's just like, wow, the thing I created based on like suicidal thoughts and depression and I've literally got little children screaming at me, going, "No, they should have done this."
Yeah.
And I'm
people sending me death threats.
People sending me death threats. So what am I gonna do in the film? Everyone dies.
Exactly.
Because fuck you.
I love him and his attitude so much. It's beautiful.
His attitude is perfect. He's literally like the Black Adam of the anime industry, and Hideko can't even say his name right now.
Adam Wingard?
No, not Adam Wingard. Sorry, no. Bringing up Adam Wingard.
You said Black Adam. I thought you meant Adam Wingard.
No, Black Adam. I was literally saying he is the Black Adam to Miyamoto's.
Shazam.
To Shazam, the Studio Ghibli. That's what it kind of feels like. But yeah, I need to watch that. That seems like a trailer.
It's a good teaser.
I think people don't like that character neither, because she's just there.
I love her.
No, but I think that's why she's there, is because people don't like her.
I can't remember if she's called like Kyrie or something.
She's better than the other girl, the girl in the red. I forget her name. Asuka, who's
Asuna,
who's the worst thing ever.
Well, I think most of them, like, I don't like Rei or Asuna, and I love Minato. I can't remember the one who looks after Shinji. It's been a while since I watched Diva.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's my favorite character of the whole thing.
The other lady.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's great.
But
she is the best character.
Yeah.
Next to the Penguin.
Yes.
Best character. But
the old lady who chokes Rei, she's also great. That scene's
that's what we've come to, guys. My favorite character is the character that chokes another character.
That's my screensaver.
Just put that on the box.
Yeah, exactly.
If you like people getting choked out,
you'll love this.
If you want to be disturbed, to be on your belief, the end of Evangelion might be the film for you.
It's why I watched X-Men Apocalypse. I'm slipping back into edginess.
Yeah, you've been watching that Titan trailer way too much, dude.
I think we should move on to...
You've been hiding in Hot Topic?
Yeah. Jeez. It's my favourite place ever since I saw Invader Zim merch.
Yeah. Ger's my favourite dog of all time.
Best dog.
He's
a good boy.
It's best dog. I love this green dog. Anyway, I think we've got one more. I think we got one more from Comic-Con, and that's like the big one, literally.
Yeah.
Literally the big one, and that's Godzilla. Was it King of Monsters?
Yeah.
I've just been calling it Godzilla.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
Oof.
This is a good trailer.
Take my breath away.
I know. Perfect silhouetted monsters.
Lighting.
Terrifying.
Lighting as well.
I know, perfect.
Jeez,
it's that weird kind of hue that's just so perfectly creepy.
Yeah, and there's lots of blues and a little bit of reds there as well. This is coming off a very, very, very underrated director who did Trick or Treat, the best anthology / horror anthology ever made, and Krampus, the incredibly underrated Krampus that no one saw, and it was a massive shame. I am so glad that he has bounced back.
I know.
And done this, and even the fact that he is kind of still, obviously you're never going to get practical effects in a film like this because America does not believe in practical effects. But even still, this guy's creativity is coming true because King Ghidorah, as I told you earlier, 3 people are going to be playing the heads of King Ghidorah.
I know, that's so good. That's amazing.
Which is great because if anyone isn't familiar with King Ghidorah, all of its heads are independent.
Yeah.
There is, I don't think it's one of my favorite scenes out of all of the Godzilla films is the scene where King Ghidorah just flies over Godzilla and lands and you see the heads moving. I think that is one of the most creative and most fantastic shots in film history because you can just see the level of dedication just to make that work. It's a 3-headed golden dragon, all with independently moving heads in something that shouldn't technically exist.
It's so well done creatively and practically.
Yeah, and even I think the special effects, I'm kind of, I think maybe the colouring might help them look a little better. I'm not going to go into this film going, man, Godzilla looks realistic. But hopefully there'll be a human element that kind of, because obviously a lot of people, a lot of Godzilla fans who call themselves fans who don't get it go, why is there humans in this film?
Yeah, exactly.
Because those people have only ever seen Godzilla 1998. Humans are always going to be a Godzilla.
Yeah.
And I hope that it's not stupid. It seems like it's going to be a lot of what I like of, what are we going to do? We need to sort out the situation. Come to Site B. We found something. You got to get over here. Something's happening. Did you see what's going on the monitor? I want that. To some extent.
It could work. Very much like, because that's kind of how Shin Godzilla did it. And it did it so fantastic.
And I hope the director's smart enough. He's watched Shin Godzilla. Yeah. He's watched Shin Godzilla because I think it's a shame we don't get the Shin Godzilla design in this one, which would have been amazing. But let Shin Godzilla be Shin Godzilla, and let's let this one be its own thing, I guess. But yeah, I'm really impressed with this film. I'm really happy.
I'm very excited, and I was lukewarm on the Godzilla 2014 film.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. I like it, but I'm not gonna say I love it. I would say I'm still lukewarm like you are, but I would say I still liked the film because I liked a lot of the cinematography in it.
Cinematography, great, and just the battle near the end was so brutal and beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
It's just a shame. I think it was Jay from Relavent Links who described the film perfectly by saying it's a film that felt embarrassed almost to be a Godzilla film.
Yeah, a little.
And that's I get it. I get you want to keep the suspense, but
they were trying to
the eighth time it's not great. When it's literally, the most frustrating one is when it's literally like the two monsters about to fight and we're literally closing the shutters on like the fight, and I'm like, you need to stop now.
Like, they were trying to ape the original Godzilla and how it did that, but it felt off.
It didn't work, but I think it was still a decent shot. Better than it was closest America ever got.
Yeah.
But we'll see how this one turns out. Anything else regarding Comic-Con?
There was the trailer for Glass.
Glass, yeah.
Which is the kind of sequel to both Split and Unbreakable.
I've never seen Unbreakable.
I actually like it. I would say it has pacing issues, though. That's just my
It's like that one good M. Night Shyamalan film people forget about because it was like a nothing film that did really poorly.
I think it came out after Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for some reason, no one went to see it.
No one went to see it for some reason, which, coming off the Sixth Sense, you think they would.
Yeah.
But whatever. I think this is a very well crafted trailer.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit too much seen it, but I think it's delivered and done in such a smart, kind of classy way.
I think what we were saying before the podcast is it's got so much going on in it, but it's not getting, it's not spoiling what could potentially
We're getting
happen.
the main premise, and even the main premise is we're going to get these three guys together and something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's all you really need to know with this film. I don't want to be detailed that this is going to happen and that's going to happen. My only real criticism towards the trailer and film is that I'm a little bit worried that it's going to be too much like Split. Like, let's people really like that scene from Split. Let's do that again. James McAvoy, fantastic actor, and he's really owning this character. But I'm seeing too many recurring visuals, and I'm like, no, let's do a little bit more. But I'm liking Samuel Jackson's narration towards the end was just that was haunting.
You will like Unbreakable then, because he's got some good ones in that.
Yeah, because I did like a lot of cinematography was nice, and I think just that one shot of him just like somewhat smiling is like he knows knows something. But it's interesting. I cannot wait for this one. Honestly,
Same,
I hope. I really just hope it's good.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
Come on, Shyamalan, you can do this.
I think he can.
Yeah.
He has the potential. I think he just needs more help.
Yeah.
That's what he needs. He needs someone to kind of go, maybe let's think about doing this as well, and then let's see which is better. That's what he honestly needs. Is on his own direction. I think sometimes his direction is good, but I think he needs a second opinion a lot of the time. Whether that's the case of a nightmare situation where it's like, I really want this scene, and let's compromise. I think that's what he needs. And even if he just looks at Split and kind of goes, oh, okay, I'm gonna do a film like that, I think we'll still be in good hands. I
agree. That was basically what we want to talk about from San Diego Comic-Con. There was other stuff, but we're kind of like, nah, we don't care enough.
We've got a few other, because we kind of had to like slot this stuff, and we've got a few other things we're going to wrap up with very quickly, because I think there's only really one we'll kind of... Well, we'll see. Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween, a terrible name. Boy, is this a bankrupt sequel?
I know. I mean, I've seen the first one and I didn't care much for it.
I didn't care much for it, but I don't understand what the hell's going on in this film. Like, so are you trying to tell me that R.L. Stine just like left, just said, screw this? And then left the book as a last screw you?
Yeah.
And even if going on the ending, even if that did happen, why would they lock and hide the book? What's the point in that? I don't know. I think it's also funny there's a younger cast I wanted to mention because the young adult dialogue and cast didn't really appeal to the young target audience they were going for. So
it was terrible and it felt out of place.
It was really bad. I watched it with people who are much younger than me, and they did not care for those scenes. They were wriggling and they were like, "Where is the scary?"
Yeah.
So they're trying to do this, but this also feels like a TV movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which is bad. I would like to actually know which is if this one has a bigger budget or not, because I think this is one of Sony's last pillars.
Yeah.
Which is really depressing to say. They've literally just got whatever's left of Spider-Man and this now. Like they have really fallen.
They have. I want to point out that they had to do it in this. The light shining into the sky. That was in there. It was like for a split second, and they've got the light going into the sky.
Oh yeah, it
was like, really?
Well, it's a bankrupt sequel. They ape a lot of the original film, like the whole like Slappy turning his head around while he laughs, and the whole how dangerous can they be, and then they turn out to be dangerous.
I really wanted the gummy bears just to eat them. Like if this film brings out new Goosebumps style gummy bears, I'll be happy.
Sure.
Just slightly bigger ones with an angry face. That'd be good for me.
Why not? I'm not going to do it. I think their budget's a bit bankrupt. I think they spent all the money on the poster. The posters are great.
I haven't seen it.
Like it kind of apes like an old like Goosebumps poster, a little bit better than the other one did. It was just like generic monster coming out the book. Jack Black is apparently in this film. I did see. So
okay.
I imagine it's going to be the case. We're going to find R.L. Stine. He's the only one who can help us. And R.L. Stine's going to be like, no.
The problem is, when I went to cinema to see Incredibles 2, a trailer popped up with Jack Black. And I was like, oh, is this Goosebumps 2? And it was like The Clock in the Wall, some shit like that. And I was like,
Clock in the Wall, yeah, I forgot about that. We talked about that.
We did, but it was like, wow, okay. Film still looks terrible. It looks like there's going to be some fun quips between Jack Black and the woman who I can't remember who she is. But that's about it.
That's her name.
Yeah.
Should we move on?
Definitely.
Let's move on to the next film, which I think you're going to cover this one.
So the next film is The Favourite. This is helped by Film 4, I believe, and it's by Yorgos Lanthimos.
It's like the obligatory good English film we will release this year.
Just one
Fingers
this year.
crossed. Yeah, just only one. We only get one.
Obviously he's known for his film Lobster and Killing a Sacred Deer, and there was the film I can't remember Dogtooth, that's the one. Which I'm always very mixed on his films.
I know. I mean, when I saw this film, I was like, yes, Ace's favourite director is back after just a year. Back with a film I know Ace is going to love.
The problem is this one actually did appeal to me.
Oh, good.
It looked absurd in a setting that I don't see absurdity often.
It's great. It's like a weird drama piece about the politics between two cousins regarding like who's going to like take the throne after Queen
Exactly.
Anne. And I'm really hoping and liking the fact that there's hopefully going to be some kind of weird, like, delve into, like, madness and, like, eccentricity of, like, and corruption of power, which it looks great. The casting of, like, Emma Stone and Rachel Waltz and Olivia Colman.
That's me. I was literally going to say, the fact that Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz is in this, instantly got me to want to watch it.
Pre-ordered.
They are... I love them so much. In the least creepy way possible, I will... say that.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be very well, like, handled and dealt with. I mean, I even noticed they had, like, the weird, like, wide-angled fisheye lens, which was very odd. I hope that Yorgos is very he has an interesting way of framing things, and I hope that actually does play a part in the film, much like it did in The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this film. It's definitely one to watch.
I hope I will like this one. That's the best I can say.
Well, I know we'll definitely be getting it, so that's good, at least because it's an English film. And the last thing we're going to talk about is a nice palate cleanser, and that's going to be The Big Bad Fox and Other Tales, which is the film I have been following for a long time now, because I've known about this film, and I'm so glad it's getting a UK release, and I'm going to go support it because it looks great. Traditional animation. Yeah, it's so wonderful to see again.
It looks like a very adorable cartoon, essentially being... a fox who ends up... one of the stories seems to be a fox adopting some chicks. Yeah. Which had one of the best lines in the whole trailer for me of, your child tried to eat my child, and then the little chick says, I didn't mind. And I was like, oh my God, I'm seeing this film now.
It's great. I hope more people do, especially since it's going to be out during the holiday time very, very, very soon. Yeah. It's beautifully animated, and it has like a very simple and natural flow to its animation, and it's going to be interesting to see a animated comedy anthology.
Yeah, definitely. It's very rare.
I can't think of any others that really do that other than like sections of like, let's say like Tales from the Crypt, where they had animated sections and stuff like that. But I'm not a massive fan of the voices, but it's probably because I haven't had a lot of time with the voices. I think they come off as a bit... it's kind of hard to explain. They kind of... not really like underwhelming, but more like... I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me to some extent. Not everyone, but there's a few voices where I'm like... I wouldn't imagine they would talk like that. Okay. But I understand they're going for this is like a very natural... In this context, as it is based on a French film. English setting to some extent.
I was going to say the voices felt very natural in a way that worked with its animation style.
I like that. I think it's just a few of the actual sounds of the voices. I'm kind of like, maybe wouldn't have had him sound like that, and that kind of stuff. But I'm not saying, oh, I prefer the dub to the sub, or anything like that. But it looks like a really cute film for the kids, and I hope people, because I'm going to see this.
Yeah, I want to. Literally, that check.
August 3rd. Yeah. Be there or be square. And also look up the director's previous work, Ernest and Celestine, I forget his name. It's the previous film he did back in 2012, which was actually up for the Oscar for Best Animated Picture, but unfortunately lost to Frozen. This was actually the best animated picture of 2012.
Which one was it?
Ernest and Celeste.
Oh, Space. That was the film.
Yeah, that was the film. He did that. So this guy is, yes, technically, although they haven't said it anywhere, he is Academy nominated. Yeah. Given that Ernest and Celeste is basically the same kind of style, based on a book, and it's literally about a mouse and a bear who are just like, we're like wanted criminals now because you shouldn't be here. Okay. Really interesting film. It kind of presents itself as a very fairy tale, and it kind of goes places, which is great. Yeah. The poster is literally just like their wanted signs.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
But anything else you want to add?
I think, I remembered, apparently Joss Whedon is involved in some sort of a reboot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, I saw pictures of that.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's not going to capture the magic. Why not just do a Buffy spin-off? That's my whole
Why
thing.
Just not do something original?
Yeah. I understand Buffy gets money, so literally, why not a spin-off? The ending works perfectly for a spin-off.
But the fans want it back.
They don't want a different Buffy.
Why not a different Buffy? I know if they do another Buffy, that it's going to be like a complete like manipulative marketing where it's like Buffy's now a black girl because...
Oh, they already said that. She's black. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's topical now, and I'm pretty sure she's going to be also a lesbian as well, and she's going to be a strong, independent woman, and she might have leanings towards being transgendered, and she might also hate Trump.
That's so. Like, I would honestly be fine if it's being a reboot and it's like Buffy's going to be black and trans. I'm like, all right, fine, but make all the other characters not be ones from the original. Just new characters for everyone else. That's all I need.
It's going to be like the Archie TV series.
Riverdale's such shit.
That's a video. Only thing left to talk about is the video of the episode, which is going to be the interestingly titled 1998 Truman by the best boy band in the world, Brockhampton. Don't know when that new album's dropping, but this is a pretty interesting and is getting very boy band popish with a lot of their songs, despite the fact being a rap group. But I really did like this music video, and they are kind of killing it right now with these music videos. Yes, definitely going to show that, hey, rap music can be good.
Go support good artists. Not Drake's terrible album, which seems to be doing well money-wise.
The only reason it's doing well is because he basically bought out Spotify.
I know, which is terrible.
That was disgusting. Like, that's just bad. Like, there are some really good rappers. I mean, it's funny, I can tell you what the best rap album of this year is, and it's an album that no one's heard. Okay. Because rap's been kind of suffering.
It's my mixtape, ain't it?
Thanks to the lack of certain people. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's just white people ruining rap music, but
I'd say a lot of people.
They a few white rappers definitely don't seem to get it. To the point where some of them are like, "Hey, why did you call me white? I ain't white," says Lil Pump. I'm a rapper. And it's all this other random bullshit. I think Post Malone is the worst.
He's terrible. Okay, I have a funny little thing. So apparently, a fan of his went up to shake hands or say hello, and apparently he smelled so awful she wanted to throw up.
He looks like he stinks.
I know.
The guy looks dirty.
He does, and yeah. I don't have good I can't even think of the right word. He's destroyed my brain.
I think it's time we end this podcast. I think the heat is actually starting to get to us. Yeah. Definitely check out everything we talked about. I know it was quite a big one to kind of talk about all these trailers and such. We're going to put everything, all the trailers. Hopefully they don't get deleted, because I know what some people could be like sometimes. I think they've almost all been officially published. All in the description, and the download link, which will be in the description as well. If you want to continue discussion with us, you can hit us up at the email raccoonplusfriends@gmail.com. Ace, if people want to find you for whatever means necessary, where can they hit you up at?
You can find me at the Ace Enigma. It's non-capitalized the, capital A for Ace and capital E for Enigma.
And if you want to follow me for whatever reason, that is the Angry Raccoon, only one C in Raccoon. Follow us and hit us up. Those links to our Twitters will be in the description as well. And I guess the only thing left to say is I was the Angry Raccoon.
I'm Ace.
And we will see you on hopefully the much cooler next podcast.
Hopefully.
Yes, because we really need it. Alright, laters guys.